Om Shanti, everyone. Welcome to Your Next Normal. I'm your host, Sister Jenna. You might have reviewed some of my shows in the past, and there is one in particular. One of my spiritual elders of the Brahma Kumaris transitioned. The soul departed from the body that was called Dadi Ratan Mohini. And now the soul is moving on to another part. Some might say the soul has gone back to God. Maybe. I don't have proof. But from my own experience, if there is anything in the soul that's still slightly unresolved, it is that energy that brings me back into birth and rebirth that will actually try to guide me to learn how to love again. And sometimes we view the lives of other people, and when we look at it, it seems really, really devastating. Maybe they're in families that they feel they don't belong in. Maybe they end up in a religion that they have to fundamentally follow because of parents. Or maybe you were in a religion and then later realized this is not who I am anymore. Or maybe you're in a job and that's not comfortable for you anymore either. Your soul is there, but your mind is somewhere else while you're at work. There's a split. And if you go into work every day with that habit or attitude, you naturally develop a split in your personality that becomes nature for you. You won't even realize the loss that is occurring internally for you spiritually, because maybe you bump into a lot of people who are also split. They're physically here, but they're somewhere else inside. Their thoughts are somewhere else, so their thoughts are disturbed in little bits and pieces of issues that they've not been able to discard. It's like you collect issues. You collect a lot of unnecessary material or things that are really not yours to keep anymore, but you keep them. And you wonder why your energy is so down, or your energy isn't inspiring, or your energy doesn't feel strong. Is that your mental environment is dirty, and your physical environment is dirty, and the world is dirty, and you wonder, where do you get the strength from to clean up shop? And so when one of my dadis, Dadi Ratan Mohini, who was the last remaining original member of the Brahma Kumaris, and she passed away, I just started to feel the depths of her knowledge of soul, thought, God. It was the way she just knew how to guide you into thought and how to transform those thoughts into elevated thoughts. She kept talking about it over and over again. The soul is generated by sankalp. Those deep thoughts, what are those deep-rooted thoughts that you don't want anyone to see? That's where God does His work, not on the surface of your being. And I think today in our show, for our next normal, I want to talk about this. Really the power of our thoughts and where we really serve them. In the teachings of Raja Yoga meditation, the first lesson is, do you know who you are? And it's not to say that if you're a pilot or a police officer or the president of a country or the prime minister of a country or a mother, a father, an engineer, a doctor, a street sweeper, a maid, a gutter cleaner, a construction worker, a landscape expert, whatever it is that you're doing, it wouldn't be possible without the soul. And it wouldn't be possible without what are the qualities of the soul. There are some attorneys, they get $5,000 for a case, and there's some attorneys that get $500 for a case. Same case, same situation. What's the difference of the two people? There's some doctors in developing countries, they earn maybe $20,000 a year, which is a lot of money in their country, but you come to America, they're earning that a month. What's the difference? They're important in their country, but compared to America's pay salary, it's completely different. What's the difference? They're two physicians. Why are they able to get that much and I'm getting less? Thought. The thought vibration that's deep inside of the sanskars, the subconscious. Right now, my conscious awareness, my ability to articulate spiritual knowledge onto you is knowledge that I've been taught. It is recorded in me. But I don't use a script every day. I don't use a book every day. The script and the book is coming from within. That's coming from my subconscious, my sanskaras. There's something that the sanskar, the deep part of the subconscious, is holding as a frequency and energy of all the conscious thinking and doing that occurs throughout a day. Okay. Let's say that you do a positive affirmation. Right? Let's just say you say to yourself, I'm peaceful, I'm a peaceful soul, I know I'm a peaceful soul. But deep down beneath that, you don't feel at peace. But you're using your conscious reasoning, what we call in Raj Yoga, your mind and intellect are at least working together in some way or the other to try to convince the self, you know you're peaceful, right? But the sanskar, the subconscious, the personality, your memory track, your experiences of this lifetime or many lifetimes might not have the fragrance of peace, because maybe you haven't been thinking and speaking and walking and behaving in a peaceful way. So what gets recorded in that deeper part of the soul, the sanskar, the subconscious, is the peacelessness of your day-to-day routine. You get it? So when you sit to have meditation with God the Divine, it is first extremely essential for you to understand you, yourself, your spirit, your soul. If you're looking through your iPad, laptop, desktop, or smartphone as I'm speaking to you, simultaneously you are thinking if what I'm saying refers to your life or it supports your life, or if it makes sense based on how much spiritual truths you have studied and understood for yourself. Not just what you know, but what you have experienced for yourself. And I'll tell you, there are two expressions of individuals in that category. The ones who read and study and simply know it at a superficial or surface level. They will debate you, and they will argue with you, and they will fundamentally make you leave like you are a heathen. Like you don't know God, you don't know Jesus, you don't believe that Jesus exists, you don't know Buddha, Abraham, you don't understand the Quran, the Torah, the Bible. You are evil. And you might walk away wondering, am I really? That's a person who has studied religion from the surface, because none of the prophets would ever do that or say like that to you, right? So why are those who are now following the message of the prophet so fundamentally aggressive in trying to convince you that if you don't believe in Allah, Jehovah, Jesus, Buddha, Christ, Lord, Durga, Hanuman, Lakshmi, Ganesh, that you're evil? There's a second group. They have studied spiritual truths. Maybe they've even been around it. But they themselves are experiencing the light of God because they've kept themselves opened, humble, honest. And somehow God's light, God's fragrance of the energy of God's power is able to access those deeper feelings in the subconscious, because that's what needs cleaning. Not what you can convince yourself of. Is what needs cleaning is what's deep beneath the soul, the sanskar, the memories, the experiences, the subconscious. And when you give access to God's love and God's light in that realm, it's like an opening. You first have to accept yourself. I am an immortal, eternal, imperishable, pure soul. I might not be that in my living form today, right now, but I know at my core that's who I am. Then God slips in. The only way God's energy can help you and me is if at some point I can experience myself to be worthy. Despite whatever I've been through, despite whatever I've said, despite whatever has been done to me, and I can't let it go, the moment I accept for that millimeter of a second, I'm worthy. I'm a pure and a powerful, loving soul. I'm God's child. The energy of God's light slips right in, and it goes into that subconscious realm of the self. And that's where you start to experience the love of God in you. And when the energy of that love of God begins to percolate in your subconscious, it will automatically begin to generate thoughts that are governed by love from the one above. And then those thoughts from the mind will generate into an action where your intellect or your decision-making factor will make that decision out of love, out of the purity of intention. And the more you practice this step that I've given you today, I guarantee it, as you practice it continuously every single day, you will transform into a heightened version of yourself. You will walk with a kind of a knowing and understanding of what others are going through when they're not the most respectful to you, when they're under the influence of algae, anger, lust, greed, attachment, and ego. My very world-renowned acronym. Did you understand what I shared today? This show, keep playing it back. Because what I've offered you is insights into deleting fear, insecurity, suppression, judgment, criticism, comparison, inferiority, deception, deceit, manipulation, control, dominance, expectation, ego, anger, greed, lust. So if you are looking to get rid of that energy in your personality to actually feel what it means to be here on earth, play this video over and over again. Listen to it. Practice taking mastery over yourself. Practice mastering your mind. I know your environment, situation, relationships, no matter how much you yell or how much you stay quiet to help to guide your children, guide your spouses, even tell your boss the company's falling, we need to try something new and he's not willing to change. You find that you get so frustrated inside, that you lose insight, that the anxiety is coming from the sanskar, the subconscious. Maybe there is benefit in the way that they're moving. Maybe there is something that is beneficial for us all that I'm missing. But if the sanskar or the subconscious has the recording or the fragrance of being anxious, as if something negative is going to happen, then it's natural for the sanskar to send a thought of fear or insecurity. It's natural for your conscious choice, your intellect, to make a decision to support your fear or your inferiority, thus creating the same experience again, where it just becomes your nature to be like that. So there's nobody really to blame about anything. And so just try today to kind of just work on feeling that subconscious part of you, that quiet area in the soul where that silence lives and where God needs access to. You can't convince God about anything. He just needs access into the deepest part of you so that that energy of love and purity and peace from God can really transform the energy of your experiences, your sanskars, your memories. I used to remember an example that Sister Gita used to offer us. She would talk about a bucket, and that bucket was filled with dirty water. And she says, but each time you were pouring or clean water was flowing or dripping in the bucket, eventually the dirty water came out and there was a bucket of clean water. So in the same process, the more you remember the energy of the divine every day, which is that purity, love, worthiness, wisdom, joy and peace, you're pouring in new energy into the soul. And so you're becoming new again. Get it? That's who you are. A new energy, a new creation, a child of God, a soul made in His image, an image of divinity and peace and purity and spiritual beauty and kindness and generosity of spirit, you will automatically be lured or pulled towards where you can be uplifted and inspired, rather than to be lured and pulled into what depletes you and makes you into an awfully mean person, which you don't really want to be. All right, so we'll pause here for the letting go meditation, because I've often felt that meditation really helps you to feel a sense of peace and freedom. And right after that, we'll move into the Sister Gita effect, and then we'll see each other to say goodbye. Enjoy this meditation now. Om Shanti. The time that we choose to be aware doesn't necessarily require me to just sit and meditate. But even while I walk and move around, I can be in a meditative awareness, which is awareness of the soul, the original, eternal, imperishable being of light. For a little while, I'd like to invite you to be present, to be here, and to be now. Allow your mind to settle in the moment, to relax. This meditation is about awareness. It's about becoming aware of your original and eternal self. It's about connecting to your truth. Let go of your name. And observe yourself feeling nameless. Let go of your gender to discontinue thinking you're a man or a woman. Let it go and observe how you would feel walking around without a gender. Let go of the role that you play and let go of the titles that you own. Observe how you're feeling as you are gradually letting go. Let go of your religion and put it aside just for now. And let go of your nationality and even the language that you're accustomed to. Imagine you have no name, gender, role, title, religion, nationality, or even a language. Ask yourself, how do you feel at this moment? And in this feeling, who would think of you? And who would you think of? The Supreme Soul would think of you, and you, the liberated soul, would think of the Supreme. In this state of absolute freedom, I am truly who I am. A free, peaceful, pure, immortal, and eternal soul. Allow yourself to just be absorbed in this awareness. At this time,
spiritual education teaches how to keep the mind free from tension and fluctuation. An unsteady mind is the result of letting yourself be strongly influenced by human situations. Spiritual awareness keeps you centered and thus protected. You claim increasing happiness and help others to do the same. The world at present seems to be a supermarket of sorrow. Don't buy any of those goods. A good spiritual education teaches you how to be discerning in your shopping. Refuse to accept anything but happiness from others as well as the world. Refuse it. Thank you. Om Shanti.
So the letting go meditation is beautiful, isn't it? It really gives you a sense of inner capacity, an inner sense of freedom. Like you really start to feel your essence. And to only have it followed by the sweetness of the Sister Gita effect. Just, you can feel it in the essence of that person. Whether you met her or not, you can feel it, right? You can feel her sanskars, not her conscious way of speaking, manipulating, trying to direct. No, what you feel through her sharings is the essence of her sanskar. Her love for God has melted and transformed her in such a way that everything the soul did was elegant. Even during her dementia. We were on the flight to India. The stewardess came to me and asked, "Who's that woman?" When we first went on the flight, I had signaled to them, "Please be patient with us. My mother has dementia, and so sometimes she gets up and I have to kind of move around with her and stuff like that." And they were like, "Okay." She was well behaved, no problem on the flight. As we were getting off of the flight in Dubai on our way to India, 3 of the stewardesses came up. "Who is that lady?" "We see so many people on our planes. I've never met someone like that. She glows." It's because her sanskars had the recording of experiencing God's love over a long period of time. And that's what I would like for you too. And that's how we will change the world, by changing ourselves first. So I hope you enjoyed today's segment. It had a lot of meaning. It's just my pure wish that you continue to make your lives inside of yourselves stronger. It is an extremely desperate plea on my part for you. Also for myself. We're not alone in any of this. All right. Take good care. Lots of love to all of you out there today. Om Shanti.